Here we go. VIP Robert wrote this in Clay. On Trump China, pull a line from the movie Roadhouse. Be nice until it's time not to be nice. I think that, first of all, great reference. Roadhouse, one of the most watchable absurd movies ever made.
They just
Meaning I
remade it, and now they're making a
it was not
Roadhouse
good.
2, right? You watched I never saw the remake down in,
No, but
Florida Keys.
I don't even have to. It had like the little Irish MMA guy in it. What's his name?
Conor
Not the new
McGregor?
one, Patty. Yeah, Conor McGregor. No,
I don't know if I
not
wanna
good.
be on record with Buck as saying that Conor McGregor's a little Irish guy. I mean,
I'm not. That's fair. I'm not saying he can't fight and
I'm
he
gonna
can't
be
kick
having
my
a
ass.
Guinness
I'm just saying he's
somewhere.
not an actor.
I'm gonna be having a Guinness somewhere, and there's gonna be a tap on my shoulder, and that little Irish guy is gonna be there kicking my ass, and I'm gonna be like, "No, it was Buck who said it. I didn't have anything to do with it." And Jake Gyllenhaal is playing the lead role, right? And
Yeah,
it's set in the Florida
it is
Keys.
a Patrick Swayze classic for those of you who have not seen it. It is absolutely absurd. Like the whole he lives across the lake from the main bad guy. He's like somehow knows karate. He went to NYU. Like
None of it adds up.
the movie makes absolute he gets stabbed in a knife fight and the nurse who's tending to him is like a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model
Drop dead gorgeous.
Who lives in this small town and then wants to go roll around with this guy in like the actual barn that he lives in. I'm just look. Not all heroes wear capes. It was pretty amazing that he was able to pull this off in the movie. But yes, it is very, very. Sam Elliott, by the way, some great Sam Elliott stuff. What does he keep? Does he call him Kimosabe or what's his Miho? He calls him Miho in the movie.
Is there a bet? This is a fun debate. Is there a better 1980s era range of actor than Patrick Swayze for wildly successful movies that had nothing in common? Because if you think about, just off the top of my head, Ghost, Dirty Dancing, and Roadhouse. Like the difference between Roadhouse and Ghost or Roadhouse and Dirty
And I
Dancing.
guess Point Break is 90s, but
Point Break would be another great one to add. And then some of you are going to remember this, and this is the history nerd in me. He also played a Civil War soldier, I don't know how many of you are even going to remember this.
was this at Civil War camp, Clay? Did you watch this movie?
We just sat around and watched this movie, and he played a Confederate general, Ori Main from South Carolina. The range of Patrick Swayze excellence, to your point, if you was Point Break 1990, it might have been just the very end.
Right around then.
But, I mean, if you think about Ghost, if you think about Dirty Dancing, Roadhouse, North and South, and Love and War, which was like this television miniseries epic based on the John Jakes novels of the Civil War. And, man, I may well have super nerded myself out there. I don't know how many of you read these in the 80s, but I did. And the because of the miniseries was so popular. Patrick Swayze might have had the best acting career of anyone, super successful movies in the 1980s. I mean, like Arnold Schwarzenegger basically played Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Sylvester Stallone basically played Sylvester Stallone. I know there's some exceptions, like Arnold Schwarzenegger was in Twins with Danny DeVito, where he was funny.
Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah,
it's not a tumor.
There are a few Michael Berry, our buddy down in Houston, just texted me. Red Dawn. I mean, remember how good he was, Swayze in Red Dawn,
Wolverines,
in the 1980s, and as part of. I mean,
I just want to say, well played, Mr. Berry. Well played.
He's got a great show in Houston for those of you that are listening to us right now. But I mean, think about it. Is he? This may be the most aggressive, crazy argument I've made. Is Patrick Swayze the most underrated 1980s movie actor of all time?
I don't know if he could. I don't think he could say he's underrated. I don't think he's underrated. I think that he passed away of cancer sadly some years ago. But I just think that he didn't stay as big for like long. But I think that he was. I think in the 80s he was a true leading man and was getting his due. Look at the movies he was getting.
Was he the best 1980s actor? If you consider range.
Oh, well, now you're getting crazy. Now you're calling
range. On range, I think there's an disrespected under the radar argument for Patrick Swayze's excellence that isn't
your generation. You Gen X people like Pacino and De Niro way too much, so that's always comes up in this. Like,
I've never been. Robert De Niro plays the same character in every movie.
The same thing in everything. The same, Italian mafioso mobster guy.
Like, yes,
the whole thing. I've never. I think that I would put them in the really overrated category, actually, of actors. Yeah, that's a hot take for you. Some of the people in the Northeast, we got a lot of New Jersey, New York listeners. They're not going to like that one, but I'm just telling you, okay? Yeah, Goodfellas is very watchable, but let's calm down. It's not as great as everybody.
Michael Berry's still firing, by the way. The Outsiders, all 1980s. Yeah. I'm gonna maybe have to die on this hill.
But I think Harrison Ford was huge in the 80s. The Indiana Jones, right? So you're saying best actor with range.
Like he's Indiana. Basically, Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones or Han Solo in those movies across the board, right? The range of Dirty Dancing to Roadhouse to Red Dawn, is there better 1980s performance than Patrick Swayze? I'm not sure. Michael Berry says, I didn't know this. He's evidently a fount of Patrick Swayze knowledge, our Houston lead-in. Phenomenal talent down there. Patrick Swayze, legend in Houston. Mom ran a famous dance studio for decades. He came up through the dance studio family known by everybody. Michael Berry, unexpected savant when it comes to Patrick Swayze knowledge, and a lot of you firing away. But Buck, you have someone that you think is a more successful range actor from the 1980s that you thought about during break, and I don't even know the answer here yet.
I think we have to bring Tom Hanks into the conversation here. I think we have to bring Tom Hanks in. You're talking Splash, Big, Turner and Hooch, Dragnet, you get a whole, and then he gets into like Philadelphia, Forrest Gump. Now that's
the
90s.
90s, I would argue.
That's right at the.
I would argue you probably made a good case for Tom Hanks in the 90s to be the actor with the best.
No, but all those movies I named were 80s.
Yes,
so that's Turner and Hooch, Dragnet, Splash. He was a little more of a kind of romantic lead comedy guy in the 80s. And then very much transitioned into like leading man serious roles. To be fair, the transition really occurs right around 1990, so your premise still holds, which I'm bitter having to say that. But
was
yes.
Big 1980s?
Yes.
Tom Hanks, Big.
Yes.
That was, by the way, you want to talk about a movie that is super creepy? Super creepy in retrospect.
Yeah.
10-year-old boy sleeping with, movie, I'm not sure that movie holds up really well as you get to be an adult. It's great when you're 10, but you watch it and you're like, ooh, I'm not sure about this.
We got some VIPs real quick here. Tom Cruise and my friend Garrett just texted. He's listening. He said Tom Cruise. I don't know if Tom Cruise has range. I think he's probably the biggest leading man of all time. Him and Harrison Ford probably neck and neck. Also, VIP, Rick writes Harrison Ford, much greater range. Witness, Working Girl, so many more. Maybe true, although I feel like Harrison Ford always just plays Harrison Ford. I
agree. I think Harrison Ford's always Harrison Ford. And again, Tom Cruise, always Tom Cruise. I think my argument's right here. I think Patrick Swayze is the actor with the greatest range of the 1980s. You can argue otherwise and be wrong.